Hi guys, I'm the Lag Dr. Clay Ballard, and hopefully you've already watched the proper pitch shot setup technique. Now we're going to get into the actual motion of the pitch shot. It's very similar to chipping, and there's only one major difference here. And in a chip shot, I'm not going to get very much wrist hinge, so my hands aren't going to be setting much. We get a very tiny amount of wrist hinge and lag, but it's a very, very small amount. Now in a pitch shot, I'm going to go ahead and set those wrists a little bit earlier and then release those wrists so that I can let the bounce on the bottom of the club release and kind of glide through the turf. So on a chip shot, I'm going to be hitting a little bit more down and through and really think about a descending blow on the ball, slightly descending. With a pitch shot, I'm going to let those wrists hinge a little bit early, and I'm going to let that bounce just glide through the turf. So that's the first key I want you to think about. Go ahead and let those wrists set in the backswing, and as we're coming down, those wrists are going to be releasing, and I'm going to be nice and extended as I'm coming through. The second thing you need to focus on is keeping most of your weight on your left hip or your left side throughout the entire swing. So I'm going to be about 70% of my weight is on my left side. I'm thinking about kind of pivoting around my left hip, and I'm going to simply rock everything back and through as one unit. So my hips, my shoulders, everything comes back and through as one unit, and I don't get a lot of a weight shift on this. I'm staying posted on my left side the entire time. Now, one of the major things I see people get incorrectly in the pitch shot is when they release the club, a lot of times they'll try to scoop at the bottom and this left wrist really breaks down. So as you're doing this proper pitch shot technique, as you're coming through into the release, the left wrist is going to have a very slight bend in it, but it's only a very, very small amount. So if I'm going to go toward the camera here, I'm going to go ahead and do this pitch shot again, and you'll see as I'm going toward the camera, I have a very, very small amount of bend, not much at all, and my club is almost pointing toward my left hip socket here. So as I'm going to go towards you again, you're going to see that, and I'm not getting this flipping motion where now this left wrist would be broken down. The last thing I want to talk about is a nice extension through the release, and as I'm coming through this shot, I want to feel like my arms are relaxed, but they're extended out. If I start to flip, as I mentioned earlier, these arms are going to fold up, and I'm going to be helping the ball into the air. If you find yourself doing that, that's very, very common. You may have the ball too far back in your stance and trying to flip, or you may just be used to using a little too much wrist and causing it to flip. So if I do all these things correctly, I should be able to be pretty consistent and hit a nice even shot, making good contact with the ground. You don't want to get a lot of divot on these. Just come down and barely clip the ground, let that bounce slide across the turf, and you'll be pitching better very soon. Good luck with your short game, and I'll see you guys soon. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did like this video, please post your comments below. I'll try to answer as many questions as I can. Hit the like button, +1 us on Google. And if you want to further improve your short game, I'm going to add a preview of the perfect putting technique video. It's going to go over the proper putting fundamentals so you can drain more putts. After you pitch it closer, you'll be able to tap it in very easily. I'll see you guys soon, and good luck with your short game. Yes, I believe there's two basic types of putters. There's putters that float downstream, and there's putters that work really hard to swim upstream. Now what I mean by this is we all know one of our friends or someone that we play golf with that seems like everything comes to them very naturally. They let their body move the way that feels comfortable and effortless, and things just seem to happen. They make putts. It looks like they go out and play an easy round and they didn't have to put out any effort at all. And then on the other hand, you probably feel like at times you're working extremely hard. You're trying to keep this putter face perfectly square, have the putter swing straight back and straight through, really lock in your body and feel like everything's working as kind of like a machine or a robot. And you're working really hard, but you're not getting anywhere. Kind of like you're swimming upstream. It's incredibly frustrating, and we've all been there before. So the key is to make it effortless. If we get our body positioned in the correct ways, we get the correct grip, and then we move our body the way that it's designed to move, everything's going to be extremely effortless. That's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to show you the 3 keys, the 3 very, very simple motions that you can use so that you can be the guy that floats downstream instead of working hard and swimming upstream. It's an incredibly simple motion, and I can't wait to show you. Okay, so as I mentioned before, there's really just 3 basic movements to the putting stroke, and they're all really, really simple, and they work with your body instead of trying to get this club face to do any kind of certain manipulations that we've been told to do before, like straight back and straight through. So I believe in an arcing putting stroke. Now, we're not creating an arc, we're letting an arc happen, and let me explain to you why I feel this way and why your body's set up for an arc type putting stroke. Now, number 1, the first motion is that our shoulders are going to rotate around our spine. Second motion is that our arms are going to flow freely from our shoulders. And the third motion is that the putter is going to flow freely from our hands. That's it. That's all there is to the stroke. And the first motion, as I mentioned, shoulders rotating around the spine. The spine is the center or the axis of the swing. It's going to stay very, very still in the putting stroke and not move at all. In order to keep it still, this is a must.